I'm ready whenever you want.
Okay. Welcome in. I hope. I'm very concerned. I'm actually staring at our YouTube channel right now just to make sure that we actually go live. I'm the least technologically proficient human being of all time. So I'm waiting. Oh, there we are, Matt. We are live here on YouTube. Welcome in. It is week one on our youtube.com/bettingpros. Matt and I are. Matt's in a hotel traveling on Wi-Fi. I am hopeful that he doesn't drop off during this, because I just talked for an hour about fantasy and my voice is a little done. Matt, how are you? How has your weekend been? How's all that?
It's been fun. I mean, today's going to be really stressful, obviously, because I've got to get dressed after this, and then I've got to get over to the venue, and it's in this insane, magical looking place. My friend and his soon-to-be wife, their venue is ridiculous, but we're going to be, it takes an hour to drive from the hotel, from the venue to the airport. And so my flight's at 8:50 and the wedding's at 3, and we got, 3:30, 3:45 for the ceremony, and then like cocktails and everything else. And like, I have a bad feeling I'm going to be walking out in the middle of dinner, but it is what it is. So I told my friend last night, I'm like, man, I'm just going to, I'm going to Irish wake this thing. I'm just going to go see ya. Like, you're just going to see me, and then you're not, and I'm just going to be gone, and I'm going to be like, I don't want to interrupt you guys. I don't want to, distract. So, yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for football to be here, and I'm torn in like 18 different directions right now, because I have my bets going. We've got this going. We've got games going. And oh yeah, by the way, I've got to be in a really big wedding coming up here at 3:00 Pacific time. So yeah, tough day, but fun day.
You're going to rock the house. And I'm putting a comment just in our chat. I control the Betting Pros comment. True or false, this is what Matt is wearing to the wedding. I think
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he would look good. He'd look good, right?
Awesome.
I would go there. Okay, so what we have today, you guys probably, most of you, I hope, listen to the Daily Juice, my favorite podcast, of course, by this last couple of weeks, Matt, college football, I loved it. Anyway, but we're going to we'll break down every game, essentially, Matt. You want to do that? You want to go game by game? We will give our picks and everything like that. And I know what you guys are here for, the Dan Harris props. Don't worry, reran all the projections late last night. I believe I have 5 that I'm going with. There's a theme to the Dan Harris props this week, by the way, in week one, which we will talk about, something that I think we can exploit in the market. But we're going to get to that a little bit later. We're here for an hour. We'll get to that a little later. So, Matt, do you want to go through some of the early games, like game by game? Do you want to give a couple of your leans or a couple of your picks? How do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's go through every game, but just a reset and remind everybody. And this is week one for us. So eventually, if you were with us last year, normally we would throw graphics up to you guys can people would love to screenshot that and then have on to them. We don't have that today just because it's chaos for everyone in our company. So just heads up, it's going to look a little different. I'm not going to be sitting here in a hotel room next week. It's going to be much different. So just for now, we don't have the graphics to tell you, but to remind you guys, I'm on Miami plus 3.5. I'm on the Saints plus 4.5, the over 49.5 for Seattle and Indianapolis. I'm on the over 52 for Arizona and the Titans, and we've teased the Bills down to a 0.5 point. That's the other side of the teaser that we had from Thursday. I will have a Wong teaser when we're done here wrapping up. I'll give you a Wong teaser. If you guys know you want to go as closely to kickoff as possible to make sure the numbers do not change. It's a math formula. So if the numbers change, it will not qualify, and thus you cannot call it a Wong teaser. So we'll have that. I've got one that I'm eyeballing, but I want to be as close to kickoff as possible. So yeah, let's go through all the early games at least one by one. The late games numbers may change a little bit, but let's do the early games, and then we'll give some highlights, because there are some really. I mean, the NFL backloaded this day. I don't really know why they put.
I know games. What the heck, man. What is?
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because for one, the wedding's going up against all these games, which is a really bad thing for me. But secondly, it's why are the Patriots playing at 3:30 at 4:30? Eastern. Why are the Patriots playing a late game? It doesn't make any sense to me. They should be playing at 1:00, but they're not. So it's really annoying. But
I think what they knew is that everybody was going to be watching the Jets-Panthers game, so they wanted to make sure everybody. Right? That's the only game anybody. Well, that's just me.
I mean, all of a sudden, I have a massive interest in that game, because we've got the Daily Juice pick on that game.
Oh, so, what was the line, by the way, at the contest?
3.5, I believe.
So that is what the consensus line. By the way, here's what I'm going to do when we give out the lines. I'm on bettingpros.com. You guys know that if you're here at the YouTube channel. It gives you the consensus line. It gives you the lines at every book. Everything is at 3.5. I actually took it, Matt, when I had it at the Jets plus 5.5, which I know is your dead zone, and I made a joke about that in the Betting Pros.
No, it is a dead zone, but it's not a dead zone when it comes to taking the points. It's a dead zone to lay the points. 5.5
see.
5.5 on a dog is not bad. There's no real difference between 4 and 5, but it's the laying of 5.5 is the dead zone that I don't do.
Okay, so we will put up my props. By the way, I although we don't have the graphics, I'm very sorry. Again, this is week 1. It is insanity here at Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros. We will have it later. Our senior producer, Chris, just wasn't able to get around to it. Doesn't matter, but here's what I can do. I can put up a comment watch. I mean, you guys know, you probably know. Look at that. You're in the comment, Joe Smith, Steelers, whatever it is. I can put that up. I will put my props in a comment, and I will post it, and I will leave it up there for a while towards the end. Probably around, 10:45 or whatever time it is for you, 11:45. Okay, let's get started, Matt. The first game here is the 49ers visiting the Lions. Now, this line at one point early in the week, at least when I saw it, was 7.5. The consensus line right now is 9. It's 8.5 in a lot of books. I have a 2-team teaser involving this game where I have teased down the Niners from 8.5 to 2, and from 8 to 2. But what about you? How do you feel about this game?
I want no part of this game, and here's why. This is Thursday night all over again, okay? This is massive steam. This is a team now on the road versus at home. The Bucs were at home, and they had massive steam.
Yep.
And what the books are telling you here is there's just a ton of money coming in on the 49ers, and they're comfortable just kind of moving between. Once they cross 7.5, they don't really care about going to 8, 8.5, and 9. There's no big difference there. One max wager can change the numbers. So I like the teasing idea, and I thought hard about it. It's an extraordinarily popular teaser. Okay.
All right.
I'm not saying Dan Campbell's winning this game outright, but it's the NFL. Weird things happen. It's week 1. I would be very careful with this. I would not lay 9. Okay. This number's gone. Okay. Do not go in the 49ers and say, oh, I got in late. I want to take. Do not bet the 49ers here to cover this 9-point line. This game has backdoor cover written all over it. So a teaser leg, really, I do like this game as a teaser. A lot of people like it as a teaser leg. I do not like it as 7.5, 8.5, 9. I do not like it with the 49ers laying the points.
There are way too many unknowns for this game, right? Because I hate variables, Matt. And I think, it's in a way, you mentioned this a lot, you can sort of take advantage of before the books sort of figure things out in a couple of weeks when they get more data and they're able to put it within their models, stuff like that. We can have an edge, but we also as bettors lack the data necessarily to sort of do this. And what you really have is, I don't know necessarily what it's going to be with crazy kneecap biting Dan Campbell up there as the coach. I don't know what happens with that. There are fans, right? Like, that's also something that I feel like, not thinking about how different it was for a road team to come in there without fans in the stadium. It was super easy. It's a big reason why scoring was up. I think now you've got fans. The Lions, it's first week of the season. Everybody's optimistic. Doesn't matter what your team is. It's probably going to be raucous. I agree. I'm staying completely away at 9. Again, my teaser there, I have another one. It's a small teaser with that one, because even within a field goal, I feel confident the 49ers are going to win. So teasing it down, fine, it is popular. But once it got above,
but here's the only thing I would say about this game in terms of, we don't know. I mean, the most interested book in this game and all games with the Lions is BetMGM, because BetMGM has their number one liability is the Lions over 5 wins, and it's going to be the Lions plus whatever number of points they wind up getting. Michigan people are just coming in here and they're betting as much as they can because they're in love with Dan Campbell. Now, the bloom comes off the rose fast in the NFL, so this guy loses by 30 points today at home. No one will buy that anymore, but this is a very interesting game as to how the state of Michigan is going to bet on the Lions going forward, because they really do like this team. And I mean, do we know anything else about that really crazy rumor involving Swift and murder? Did you cover that at all?
No, we didn't cover it because it was a completely unsubstantiated rumor. So
yeah, and so like, but that was out there. I mean, that was in the gambling conversation of going like, there are people that I know in the gambling space that were tweeting about it and going like, there's going to be some investigation going on to the running back for the Lions. And it was like, wait, what? Like, this is nuts. And so I don't know if that got to the team or not. And so like, there's just a couple things that scare me about this game, and that's one of them. Like, what is going on with that? And someone, obviously, I think my life would be a little bit upside down if somebody was even like remotely going to accuse me of that. So I think that there's a lot of, you mentioned variables. There's a lot of unknowns when it comes to this game. And I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the report from Adam Schefter today, but if you're Trey Lance, what the hell is going on with this reporting coming out that the Niners wanted Mac Jones? They trade up 3 picks to go get Mac Jones, and they take Trey Lance. Like, who got involved with this? If they really did want actually to draft Mac Jones, did the media crush? Did that cause them to go, we can't give up 3 first-round picks for Mac Jones. We just can't do it. Like, this story it's almost like a Patriot plant right now that's going to try to like make it Mac Jones to be like this. Patriots waited and Belichick's mastery, and he didn't have to give up anything, and he stayed and got his guy. So stay away. This game is, but if you have to play it, I would take the 9 points.
Yeah. Matt, some people are asking to put your posts up. Do you want me to do that since you've given them out already? Because I have them. Okay, ready? All right, hold on. I'm going to comment on them. Think I have them, Matt. And I don't know if they're going to come across that well. Obviously, sorry guys with the way it comes across. But is this right, Matt? Is that right? Miami plus 3.5, Saints plus 4.5.
Over 49.5, 52 in the Arizona Titans game, and 0.5. Yep, that's right. The only thing I'll say about, just so you guys know, and we'll talk about this throughout the entire year. So the key numbers in totals are 45, 51, and 55. And so that Titans total is 52 that I played. I think it's 52.5 now. I don't love the fact that we've crossed 51 on that. Like for Monday night, you guys, if you listen to the juice, you know that the Raiders and the Ravens, I took it at 50.5. So as we talk about totals going forward, I do think we're seeing a lot of points in week 1 of the NFL, but that 51 is a pretty big number, and you'll see the books kind of hide numbers at 50.5 and not want to cross 51. So that 52 is a little bit scary, but I think a lot of points are getting scored in that Cardinals Titans game.
I had now the consensus, I think last time I saw was like 53.5 at some books. Anyway, I've got the 52.5. I went over. They're two of the fastest paced teams from last year, man. There's going to be so much scoring in that game. I have zero issues with it. All right, let's keep going. Also, Matt, I wonder, whatever. We'll get there in a second. All right, let's get to the Seahawks visiting the Colts. The spread right now, the consensus line is Seahawks -3. Now, this is something when I think it opened, it was Colts -2.5 or something way back in the day before it ever got sort of to the Wentz injury and all this sort of stuff. This has been climbing in the Seahawks direction. Matt, it's still at DraftKings, which is my sports book, at -2.5 from the Seahawks. This strikes me as something below 3 begging you to take the Seahawks, and I don't care. Like, I'm just doing it. I can't imagine the Colts coming out of here, even at home. They suck at home, but they suck in openers, by the way. They've lost like a ton of openers in a row. The Seahawks under a field goal, if you can get it, which I can still at DraftKings. I love that bet, Seahawks -2.5.
So I am very curious because I'm on the over. So I'm going to need Indianapolis to be proficient or at least competent on offense. And the under is where people are going with this game. I'm going against the grain. The number has moved against me. It's now 48.5. I bet over 49.5. And the reason is I think Russell Wilson and company, I think they're going to let him cook early like they did last year. And I'm just not sold that defense is going to be what everyone says it's going to be. They say they fixed it. They've said they've addressed their problems and their issues, and that very well might be the case, but they're on the road here in game 1 in a dome in a loud environment. I just need 20 points out of Indianapolis, but if I don't get that, the Seahawks are going to win this game going away, because I do think the Seahawks are going to score close to 30 points today.
Yeah, this one for me, and I'm putting it there. Look at that. This was one of the picks that I gave out on the BettingPros podcast. So did our guest, Sean Green. We both like this. If you can get it at 3, I'd still be fine with it, but I will take it at 2.5. Look, here's the bottom line. I agree with you on the defense, but I think that the Seahawks are going to come out and they're just going to, like last year, let Russ cook basically right from the start. They'll be able to do. Xavier Rhodes is out for this game. He played very well last year. That's big for DK Metcalf. So I do think they'll be able to put up points a ton. And again, you've got Carson Wentz. Like, I'm really glad that he was able to recover at lightning quick speed at this point. But you've got no T.Y. Hilton. You've got injuries on the offensive line. You've got no chemistry whatsoever with his receivers. Like, I don't care about the Seahawks defense. They can put up some points. But for me, this strikes me as something where I feel very confident. If you can get under a field goal, for sure, I would take that. Washington football team is hosting the Chargers. The spread has also been sort of moving as the week has gone on. It's now our consensus line up to Washington -2 points. What do you think?
So here's something that everyone's got to be cognizant of. Okay. So that when the books cross 0, again, from 3 to 3, they don't really care. Okay. So Chargers being favored by 1, it flips to Washington being favored by 1. Now Washington being favored by 2. There's not a lot of resistance the books are going to receive till they get to 2.5. Then it gets resistant because people start buying it up and they start teasing it up. And that's the numbers they're going to be watching. both my circuit teams are on Washington -1. So I like Washington here. I'm comfortable making a contest pick on it. I'm not comfortable making a bet on it as of yet. And the reason is I need to see Washington here, and I need to see what their offense is going to look like. I think they're going to run the football, but that Chargers defense is really good. And so my question is, again, it's the West Coast team going to the East Coast. It's an early start time. It's week 1. I don't know if Herbert is going to continue the growth process from last year, but that's why people were betting on him to win the MVP. So if he comes out here and balls out in week 1, but I do have 2 contest picks on Washington -1. So I do like Washington today. I'm not going to bet it.
I bet it. I have it at -1.5 before it got to 2. I don't know, man. Like the Chargers, I get it. You've already got Eckler sort of, banged up with this one. The Washington football team is legit. It's a cross-country trip. I feel like this was great. I like Washington this year, man. I really do with Fitz. There's going to be some ugly moments, but I think it's going to be good enough.
I love Fitzpatrick. I love him.
Do?
I mean, I loved him last year. Miami made a huge mistake playing Tua. It should have been Ryan Fitzpatrick the entire time. My one thing that I'm curious about is the head coach for the Chargers, a lot younger than me. And that scares the hell out of me. Okay.
So is everybody at this point, Matt. So is everybody, baby.
I mean, you're taking a guy from the Rams and you're like, oh, right. You're a defensive guy with an offensive mind and you're supposed to be this boy genius and blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm not sold on the Chargers coaching staff at the moment, just given where we are. I know it's Anthony Lynn. Anything's better than him. Fine. But how much better?
Yep. All right, Matt, I think I'm going to start dripping the props. How about that? I think I'm going to give out one prop now. All right, guys, because I know you got a lot of people here for the props. I have 6. 6 to give out. Ooh,
wait,
boy.
I thought it was 5. Now you have 6?
I added a 6. I sent him to our senior video producer yesterday. I got 6. Number 1 prop coming your way on the screen. Coming up in 2 seconds is going to be Jaylen Waddle over 34.5 receiving yards at -120. What do you got, Matt?
What's this your favorite top to bottom or random?
I think it's pretty much favorite top to bottom. I don't have like a huge edge necessarily on this is, I would say, I guess the last one I'm giving out is my least favorite for sure. So probably top to bottom. Jaylen Waddle over 34.5 receiving yards. I had this at 33.5. It has been moving up. I don't know. By the way, all of these, just to be clear, come from as well. They are in line with our prop bet cheat sheet, which Matt, I know you know from the NBA, of course. Prop bet cheat sheet up and running for the NFL. It gives our projections versus the market, finds an edge. I'm in agreement with all of these. Absolutely. This one is number 1. Actually, I need to look it up exactly where my projections come out, but I will. But here's the deal with Jaylen Waddle. They got nowhere else to go, man. Like I understand, but you've got Will Fuller, who is suspended for this game. Preston Williams isn't even going to play in this game. It's Devontae Parker. It's the running game. This is, I'm not kidding, 7 to 8 yards too low, Matt. This should be much, much higher. Think about 34.5 yards, man. That is nothing. The BettingPros projection is 51.5 yards. My projection is 49.8 yards. That's a pretty big edge at this point. So this is something where, again, I think the Pats are going to win this game. We can obviously, Matt, I know you like the Dolphins. I think the Pats are going to win this game. You got the Dolphins at 3.5. You think they're going to win outright, Matt? You think the Dolphins are winning outright in this game?
They're going to be live to do it. I mean,
they're live. I think so.
They're live to do it. I think this is a 3-point game one way or the other. You have high expectations for Mac Jones. Clearly, I've tempered my expectations on Mac Jones. It's game 1, rookie, right out of the gate at home against a divisional team where divisional dogs are 29-8-1 since 2013 ATS in week 1.
I get it.
So it's going to be, I don't know. I'm very concerned. Brian Flores. I want us all to be in love with Mac Jones and I want him to be the next Tom Brady, but I'm going to temper those expectations a little bit given that Dolphins defense and their ability to turn turnovers into points like they did last year.
I understand. This is a little bit more of a fade of the Dolphins than it is a buy of Mac Jones and the Patriots. But again, regardless, the ball's got to go somewhere. Okay. And he knows he's got to throw.
I like this bet. I like it a lot.
This is my favorite bet. When I saw this line, I was like, this is wrong. I thought it was a typo. I was looking at it on my phone. So this is one again. I don't know. It might have gone up at this point because it was moving up a little bit. 36.5, still fine to take it. Like honestly, up to that 37, totally fine with it. All right, Matt. Next game. Panthers laying 3.5 to the Jets. You have some action on this. Go ahead.
So this is both my I haven't bet this game. I've come around to kind of thinking about betting this game, but here's my thought. Look, Sam Darnold wants to play really well against his former team, right? I mean, this is his Super Bowl in a way. I got the Jets coming in. They kicked me to the curb because they wanted Zach Wilson. So here comes Zach Wilson. I mean, I don't know how you feel about the Crowder situation, but I think Crowder being out is a pretty big deal for the offense for the Jets. And I think you've got a lot of people trying to do a prove it game and saying, look, we have Christian McCaffrey back. We've got Sam Darnold. We've got Joe Brady. Matt Rule is trying to say he's made the right decisions here in what he's trying to build in Charlotte. I just think it's a 7-point victory for the Panthers. I'm not that high on the Panthers. A lot of people are, but I do like it today. I do think this is going to be a very much of a walk before you run situation for the Jets with your guy, your new head coach in the New York Jets.
I'm very excited about this. I will say that I have mixed feelings about this. I did take the Jets getting 5.5 because I don't think the Panthers completely destroy them. Now they might, because the Jets have maybe the worst secondary in all of football right now. Like, I don't know how you're going to contain any of these guys. I don't really know how you're even going to contain Christian McCaffrey, but the offensive line is really terrible for the Panthers right now. And I've seen sometimes Sam Darnold get into these, get some pressure and
you would know
have some trouble with some pressure. And I've been really impressed with Zach Wilson. I'm really impressed. I didn't know what to expect, Matt, necessarily when we drafted him, and I know it was just the preseason, but I felt good. Yeah, not having Crowder is obviously not having that veteran guy, but you'll have Mitchell back. Corey Davis gets all the targets nonstop, and there's enough. Keelan Cole's kind of a game time decision, so who really knows? But I think they're going to do enough. I think the defense, Saleh is going to be able to make up for the lack of defense. I love the offensive coordinator. I think he's going to do a lot of really good things. So I think we're going to be fine there. Let's go. I don't know about this one, Matt. Houston now, there are books at 3. There are books at 3.5. Houston is getting 3.5 at home against the Jaguars.
Yeah, this is a number. I mean, look, you can only play the dog here. I don't think you can lay any points. But so if you're going to bet this game, I think you have to bet Houston. If you believe in the reporting that came out this morning that there are massive problems already with Urban Meyer inside that clubhouse, inside that locker room, which is the way he's running things. It's very college-esque, and some of the older NFL guys are really getting tired of it quickly. I don't know. I mean, again, it feels like kind of a hatchet job to, game one out of the gate. Urban Meyer gets this story come out that his players don't like him already. But I think you have to at least look at the value at plus 3.5, and you're over a field goal. And you do have Tyrod Taylor. I know the Texans could be the worst team in the NFL. I'm actually a little bit higher on the Texans than some people think. And that means, I think they could win 3 games. This whole idea that they're going 0-17. Everyone's like, they're going to lose every game. I don't know if they lose every game. I mean, Tyrod Taylor does not take jobs to lose. They are paying their players too. And Trevor Lawrence very well could be rough today. I mean, he could throw interceptions and he may not look, comfortable. It's his first game ever as a number 1 pick. Everyone's expecting him to be Superman. So I think the ETN injury is pretty significant. I think they thought he was going to be a really big part of this offense. He's not going to be there. The receivers are good for Jacksonville, but I'm not betting this game, but if I did, I'd take the 3.5 points.
Yeah, no, I would too. I'm not betting it though. I'm staying away. A lot of people saying, yeah, the Waddle prop, guys, this is the thing with the props. The books are going to have to react to these quickly. They're going to have to look at what is happening right now, because here's the thing. Yeah,
I'm searching and I found 36.5 is the best number I've
36.5 is better than most people are seeing. They're seeing 37.5, 39.5.
FanDuel right now is at 36.5. I'm staring.
Yeah. Again, when I first bet it, I had it at 33.5, and that was midday yesterday. Okay. Wow. And so that was, so now it is just moving. I think it's going to be fine, guys. There's not nearly as much value in it, but I told you what our BettingPros projection was. This is why, by the way, go to bettingpros.com/props or bettingpros.com/NFL props, because that will tell you throughout the week, what the projection is, what the props available are, and what you should do. You know what? But Matt, I'm doing another prop right now. Let's go. This is,
by the way, DraftKings is at 37.5, and I'll keep on shopping and see if I can find.
Yeah,
I would be so far is 36.5.
I'd be okay. Here's prop number 2 coming your way. Here's the theme. Coming up, as soon as it comes in, there we go. Najee Harris over 59.5 rushing yards at minus 115. So what's our theme today? A little bit, guys. Books do not know how to price rookies. Okay, that's the bottom line. They don't know what we're going to see from rookies. They don't have the data on them. They don't understand just exactly what's going to happen. The Bills have a really, really good pass defense, right? We know that. That's the one thing they have. They have an incredible secondary, but they do not have a great run defense. They didn't last year. They're probably not. Again, we don't know until we see it necessarily. They're probably not going to this year. The Steelers are going to want to establish the run in this game. They're going to want to keep Buffalo from getting on the field quickly. They're going to lean into it. They're going to have passing, of course, and Ben has looked pretty good, but this is going to be a lot of Najee Harris in this game. I will tell you what the betting pros projections were: 72.5 rushing yards. Dan's projections, 73.2 rushing yards. So we are right there in line together. This is a game where I think they're just going to lean into the running back. I hope it's still 59.5. This one I did not see move. Waddle I had been seeing move before. This one I feel very comfortable with. And again, it's a rookie thing. I have one other rookie that I will give out a little later, but that is something where I'm going. Matt, what do you think of that?
So Najee's at 60.5 at FanDuel. You actually can do an alternative spread at FanDuel at over 70 yards rushing at plus 140. So if you want to really go by the projection, you can get a little exotic there with Najee Harris at plus 140 at FanDuel. I love it. I mean, I think they want to showcase to their fans why they used a first round pick on this guy. So if he goes into game one and gets 6 touches for 30 yards, I just don't think that that's really his role. I think they need him. They want him to be a big time weapon. I think Najee Harris to score a touchdown today at plus 130 is a really good bet. I think in the red zone, they're going to use him as a hammer trying to get in. And you know, the offensive line's got big questions. I understand that. And that's one reason why I think the books are tempering the expectations on Harris, because they don't know what he's going to look like behind that offensive line. But to rush for 60 yards. I mean, we all might look back on this and say, my gosh, can you believe we used to be able to bet 60 yards on Najee Harris? Now it's 85 or 95 yards rushing every game for Najee Harris. So the Steelers are going back to playing defense and running the football. I think we all that they gave a tell there that they are not interested in going up tempo as much as they have before, because the receivers there and Ben gets hurt and whatnot. So yeah, I'm in on this. 60.5 is the number I'm seeing right now.
That's fine. So I'm fine with 60.5. And again, the big thing here is you're right. They are going to run the ball a ton. And you know who's going to get probably 100% of the running back carries is going to be Najee Harris. That's the best part, right? There is no timeshare with all these backs. There's a guy who's just going to be the bell cow. They're going to lean into it. I love it. Matt, how many people used to come to these live last year when you were doing these live streams?
How many people last year on the live stream? I don't know. I think we probably averaged somewhere around 500, I think.
Wow, 500 an episode?
By the end of the year somewhere? I can't remember though. I mean, like
crazy, I thought it was like 200. Maybe I am. Whatever.
It could be 200. Why?
Because we have over 400 people in there right now.
Wonderful.
I love it.
See?
That's what I'm saying.
great.
I love it. All right, Cardinals visiting the Titans. Titans are currently laying 3.
So, I mean, I just think this is a game that we're going to see a ton of offense. I know I haven't seen the latest A.J. Brown and what's going on with Julio. So, I mean, hopefully both.
They're fine, man. They're fine.
They are? Okay, good. So they're both good. So that's great for the offense. I mean, just at home, if you look at what the Titans have done at home over the last couple of years, they give up a ton of points and they score a ton of points. It's always a track meet with them. And, you know, because they're going to run the ball with a guy who can pick up 80 yards at a time, people are like, oh, I don't know about the total. I'm like, yeah, that defense is not that great. And, you know, speed of play here for the Cardinals, how many snaps they want to get in. The Cardinals want to go fast. Titans want to go fast. I don't have a play on the side. I would lean Titans. I like the Titans a lot. I'm on the over 9.5 wins for the Titans. Nice. I like this team. I like Vrabel. I don't love Ryan Tannehill, but I like him enough that they're going to win 10 football games. So I would lean towards the Titans to cover this, but I like the over way more. Yeah.
And the over now, it's 53.5, man. I got it at 52.5, which I like that they're, man. Again, these are Arizona had the fastest pace of play last year. I think the Titans had the 3rd fastest pace of play. They both have elite offensive weapons. Neither one has a particularly good defense. So I agree if that's where I'm going, but I'm staying away from the side personally with that one. Oh wow, this is all messing up the order. Sorry, I'm looking. Okay.
It did that for me too. I had to go search it.
Okay,
I
got very
the order.
Confused.
Yes.
Right. By the way, if you're watching, please give us a like on this live stream. Matt and I are going to be doing this every Sunday morning. He will have better he will be plugged in, whatever. We'll do all that stuff like that. And subscribe if you haven't here. We're trying to raise the subscription. Of course, we'll be doing this all the time. Vikings visiting the Bengals. The Vikings are laying 3.
So I am very high in the Bengals. Okay, I am a buyer here of a bounce back year for this team. I hate their head coach, and every time I talk about the Bengals, I have to say that I hate Zach Taylor. So it pains me to say that I like the Bengals, but this is a game I'm eyeballing for the Wong teaser, and we'll talk about it here in a second. It is a game that has a very low total, and I think when you're giving a team over a touchdown, this is a teaser leg to me. I think the Vikings very well could win this game. They may win by 7, but Jamar Chase has got to stop talking. Just stop saying the football looks different. Please stop saying the football's different. Just catch the damn thing. Go to a jugs machine. Spend 8 hours a day catching footballs that are not college footballs, and stop saying I looked better when I had a white line to look at. And come on, man. Like, this is the NFL. You're a paid athlete now. Stop that kind of a conversation and stop dropping the football, because their receiving core is elite if he catches the football. So I like the Bengals a lot. I prefer to tease it, but Viking fans are all up in arms that everyone's saying the Bengals are going to be good because their defensive front's going to get after it. The offensive line sucks for the Bengals. We know this. Hopefully they're going to be able to at least game plan to get the football out of Burrow's hands fast enough, and that Burrow is not going to panic because of the knee injury. So I would like to tease it. I would not bet it.
Yeah, I'm staying away certainly without the bet. But so you would tease it up from 3 to 9? Is that or wherever
Correct.
it is right now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That is fine. Matt, the masses are calling for another prop. So we're going with another prop. No rookie this time, guys.
I am taking these 2 props. I will make official for the Daily Juice. The first 2 I like a lot.
You are a crazy man, Matt. I love your faith in me, misplaced as it may be. Okay, let's get to prop number 3. Number 3 is 6. Here it comes. Brandon Alyuk over 49.5 receiving yards, -115. I already saw Matt's reaction. That's fine. You're not going to like the next one either, then I promise you. Here's the deal with this, okay? First of all, I don't really think Trey Lance is going to play in this game. That's just my opinion. I think the chip fracture is something where they want to be a little careful with it. If they want, and again, we don't exactly know what we're going to see necessarily from this game overall and everything like that, but we do know that the Lions secondary is flat out abysmal. I mean, you want to put them up against the Jets secondary, they're probably, they're better, but they're bad. Jeff Okudah isn't going to get it done. These guys can do whatever you want. 49.5 receiving yards, Matt. I don't need 7 targets. I don't need 6 receptions from either Aiyuk or Deebo Samuel, another one coming. That they can take short. Oh, Zach Moss is inactive, Matt, by the way. That just came across my thing. Interesting. Not that changes anything, but kind of shot. I wonder what Devin Singletary's. Matt, look up Devin Singletary's rushing prop just in case. Okay. See what that is right now. That might be something where we could get on. Zach Moss apparently inactive per my guys. Anyway, here's what I think about the San Francisco wide receivers. I think they're going to run the ball a lot, but I think also if you are Jimmy G, you are somebody who knows that your job is not for long. You want to do what you can to impress. This is a game you can exploit. The defense is terrible. 49.5 receiving yards. What do you got, Matt? Nothing?
32.5 for Singletary. That seems super low.
Yeah. At this point, I'd probably hit it. It's probably going up. Since that he is not injured, he is just inactive.
Why?
I don't have him, Matt. Maybe there's something else.
Off the field?
It just says, here's what Rappaport. The Bills make Zach Moss inactive, and he is not injured. 33.5. Tom, one of the illustrious founders at this wonderful company, is with me on the Singletary prop. 33.5. He's watching. Tom, thank you. Thank you very much for that. What's up, Tom? 33.5. Anyway, so go ahead and hit that now because it's going to move very quickly. Even though I don't love Devin Singletary or anything like that. I will be updating my rankings after this. Nobody worry if you're in for fantasy. Anyway, Brandon Alyuk, here's the deal. Look, I don't know necessarily how many targets or how many receptions he's going to have. I think I projected him for 5, and let me see what my numbers were just to get there. You're welcome, Tom. BettingPros has Aiyuk at 62.58. Our prop bet cheat sheet, 62.58 passing yards. I have him for 76.5 receiving yards, guys. That's what I have Brandon Aiyuk for. So for me, this is a massive edge. If he's not injured right now, which again, he's supposed to be fully healthy. I think the 49ers did a fantastic job of protecting their investments coming in. I love this one. This is one of my favorite. Everybody saying hi to Tom. Tom is one of my favorite people. Hi, Tom. Well, hey. Anyway,
okay, so here's my question. Why is Jimmy Garoppolo's passing numbers at 224.5?
Where are his passing numbers going, Matt, out of curiosity? They don't
I would agree. Yeah, the Kittle. I mean, obviously. But
Sermon, inactive. Whatever Raheem Mostert's rushing prop is. Somebody, Tom, you're listening right now, or Matt, get me the rushing prop for Raheem Mostert and probably hit it, whatever it is, okay? I was high on Raheem Mostert. He might go, and if you're playing fantasy, to a top 12 running back once I'm done. Somebody get me Raheem Mostert's rushing yard prop.
Right now. Let's see.
Smash the over. See, this is where when I'm here, I probably should pull it out and bet on my phone live. But if you are here,
that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this.
I know.
Talking. I'm betting.
So glad you are. I'm so glad you are. I'm already so invested in props anyway that I barely had 62.5 from the illustrious Tom, the man of the hour. 62.5. Hit the over. If we're,
DraftKings pulled it down. By the way, DraftKings just pulled their player props down. So,
all of them, or just. Oh boy. Okay. I don't understand.
All player props are down off DraftKings for that reason. So
okay. Yeah. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't know why Sermon is inactive. This is usually, by the way, you guys, you should know that one of my duties at Fantasy Pros is to run our news desk and make sure all the inactives are covered. Now, our guys there are crazy and awesome, and they are all season long. So you certainly should. If you play fantasy, make sure you download the Fantasy Pros news desk app. But I'm telling you that ordinarily, I would be all over this and I would have everything. Because we're doing this, I don't. Anyway, back to Brandon Alyuk. I would be over, by the way. Jimmy G over passing yards prop, Matt. That was also one of the best bets on the prop bet cheat sheet as well. I think the projections for him in terms of passing yards are too low. I think Alyuk is going to get there. And since we're there and since we're kind of off track, I'm just going with the next one as well. Hold on, guys. Coming your way. Another prop bet.
So real quick. So you're comfortable with 63.5 for Mostert over?
Yeah.
Okay, DraftKings is still up 63.5. You can grab it.
I'd go over. Again, this is something, Matt. This is like insta reaction. Okay,
yeah,
I can tell you.
This is what we're doing. This though.
I love it. Okay, let's go. So get in there if you can. This is crazy for me, and I'm trying to see it, and I've got so many things. I've got so many notifications, man, on my phone right now. This is when it's like crazy Dan Harris time.
But I have my 4 props that I am betting. I just bet them while you were talking, so now I can talk again because I was
all right. Well,
because I'm in California, I got to send text messages to people say, hey, I need you to put this prop. You need to bet this for me right now. I have to.
As your lawyer, I don't condone or say anything about that. Okay. Hold on one more. Since we're in the game and you hate it anyway, I'm also going over with Deebo Samuel with his prop at 46.5 receiving yards. Matt doesn't like it. I get it. Totally fine. You guys don't have to. And again, this is the one thing I will say about week 1. A lot of it is projecting about how the game is going to unfold in a way that ordinarily I can do much better than I can do in week 1 because I have seen the data. I have seen how they, break down their plays. I've seen what the defense is. Here, it's a lot of like uber projecting into kind of the minds of the coaches. But if you are Jimmy G, you know that you need to show something in this game. They are not going to run it a million times. They don't even have Sermon. Now they have 40 other running backs, fine. But they don't even have Sermon in this game. They are going to pass enough. I think the Jimmy G, what was it, Matt? 220 something for his yardage?
224.5 for Jimmy G yardage.
At the prop bet cheat sheet, I can't remember off the top of my head. That was one of the better bets was the over on that. I agree with that. I think there's going to be enough for him. You've got Kittle, you've got Deebo, you've got Aiyuk. I think if you're giving me something in the mid 40s, I am very happy to take that. So that's another prop. Sorry, guys. We're going by the, this is crazy. We're reacting as we get it.
So the prop bet cheat sheet, it likes Deebo Samuel.
Yes. Oh yeah. Sorry. I didn't give the numbers out. Let me just give it. Deebo is 46.5. It's 64.8. And now I see finally the inactive, 64.8 on the BettingPros cheat sheet. I don't even have it that much. I have it 56.8, but that's enough of an edge for me to recommend it at 46.5 for the Deebo prop.
Yeah, so I need to see that. I mean, look, Dan Campbell, I don't know. Okay, I just don't know. We'll see what the guy is.
They're going to be kneecaps.
Yeah, maybe he's changed everything, and the culture is totally different, and the culture is going to be much better. I don't know. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo to me, if you tell me the 49ers are in the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo as a starting quarterback, I will believe it. Okay, because we've seen it before, and it could happen.
Yep.
But Garoppolo's, the question on him to me is how does he handle having his heir apparent right behind him when he is a guy from a small school who has been questioned all the time. I'm very concerned about Garoppolo for that team. He's the one question because I don't know about Trey Lance. And now these reports coming out that they didn't really want Trey Lance, or at least the head coach didn't really want Trey Lance.
Whatever.
I think that matters, man. I think that early in the year, I think that matters in terms of how these guys are going to play. So I want to watch and see how it all unfolds. So, but again, the number's coming down. It's now 8.5. So we're seeing money coming in on the Lions, amazingly enough. But I can't go near this game.
That's fine. And to be clear, I have not bet the Jimmy G over. Like that was not something that I felt comfortable enough doing, but I do feel comfortable enough with that. Let's get to the game. Bills laying 6.5 to the Steelers. Obviously, you have this as part of a 2-team teaser that you gave out.
Yeah, so I dropped this down. Here's my concern. I mean, there's a lot of people I know who love the Steelers today, okay? I've seen a lot of people say, take the 6.5 points. Steelers win outright. I've seen that over and over again. I just think for Buffalo's sake, I don't believe that they in game one, if they come out of the gate and lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers after what Pittsburgh looked like last year, late in the year, I think it sends a really rough message to everyone in Buffalo that this might not be the Super Bowl year. So I think Josh Allen has a really big game today. I know TJ Watt's back. I know the pass rush is really great, but to me, if they get upfield and they try to go after Josh Allen, he's going to run. So I was surprised. I thought you're taking Josh Allen rushing numbers today because that's a prop bet that I actually like.
Because what's the number on it? What is the number on his rushing yards? I can look it up. Don't worry about it. Keep talking. I'll look it up.
But that's where, to me, I think when you see an aggressive defense like Pittsburgh and they're going to blitz and they're going to try to get him off his spot, because if they just let him sit back there, Stephon Diggs is going to eat them alive. And even Knox and company, I just think they want to get and move Allen. I think Allen runs, and I think he just goes and picks up big yardage. Allen to score a touchdown today is something that I have looked at a lot. I mean, I'm going to be involved. Not officially in week number one. I'm going to unofficially personally play some touchdown props because I want to see how it all plays out. But for him to score a touchdown today on a rush, I like that a lot from a Bills perspective. You get plus money at certain books on that. So I just think Josh Allen running the football today is a decent look at his numbers. I do think there's a good shot that there's a jailbreak and he just gets out and scatters and maybe 2 or 3 runs, picks up 40, 50 yards rushing.
I have a really tough time. Let's see who else. Keelan Cole also out. Eckler's active. Emmanuel Sanders is active. Anyway, there's really Sermon and Moss, the big ones there. Okay. So I have so we've got a couple different. William Brown saying Josh Allen's rushing prop 29.5. Chris is saying 30.5. Actually, I'm looking at the prop bet cheat sheet, which, by the way, again, what I love is you can type in a player's name and you see every prop that you have and you see our recommendation. We are recommending the over on Josh Allen's rushing yards. It's 28.5 minus 115 at PointsBet. We have it projected for 34.35. So don't hate it, Matt, if you're going that way. Okay, let's get to I think it's the Eagles. I'm going back to it. So we'll see whether or not it's rejiggered everything. We've got that. Everything is fine. Eagles, Falcons. Falcons at home now laying 3.5 to the Eagles. This was at 3.5 all week. What do you think?
I like the Falcons a lot here. I bet the Falcons over on their win totals. I'm sort of on a island on this. I do like the Falcons offense. I think Matt Ryan's going to have a bounce back year. I think the Eagles are going to have a rough season. I'm very concerned about the way that things went in the preseason for them. And I think when they just, refuse to commit to Jalen Hurts, they just will not give this guy the job, and they will not, for whatever reason, Nick Sirianni and company, they won't get behind the guy. And I think that creates divisions inside that locker room. I don't like Philadelphia. I'm low on the Eagles this year. I think the Falcons win and cover.
Matt, you can see the comment I just posted to our stream from somebody. Raheem Mostert, rushing yards 99.5 now on DraftKings. Is that right? Because that seems excessive even for me. For me, that seems excessive. He said now he says it's back down to 78.5. Now he says it's back down to 78.5.
Okay, so I got it at 63.5. So
see, Matt, look how much you're benefiting. Just look, guys, out there, you being here, look how much you could benefit from it, because we're all packed in. I've got my fantasy news desk running. No, that's wrong.
It's 67.5
at DraftKings.
Yes, I'm staring at it right now.
Eric, so I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Eric,
I got 63.5. That's where I locked it in. So it's gone up 4 yards. It hasn't gone up that much. So
Eric,
my gosh, come on now,
Eric. Okay, I do have a play on this game, Matt. Sorry, that's a little Billy Madison joke. Okay, this is my play on this. I should have said Dan play. Falcons Eagles over 48.5. I think it's still there. It's held. Matt, I just think that neither one of these teams has a particularly good defense. I think the Falcons offense is going to be a little bit better than we thought. I think Kyle Pitts is going to have a big game in this one. I thought about a Pitts prop. I think he's going to have a big game. I like Mike Davis, at least early in the season. You've got unstoppable Calvin Ridley. Arthur Smith improves the efficiency of that offense. They're going to do a lot of play action. Matt Ryan thrives in play action, so I think they're going to be able to put up points. And even if the Eagles struggle, Matt, if they fall behind, you're just going to have Jalen Hurts scrambling like an absolute lunatic in this game that is going to extend drives, that is going to put up points. So for me, I'm surprised it's only a 48.5. It hasn't moved, which again, I'm a little surprised about. I kind of thought it would, but that is a play that I like a lot. Okay, we are officially getting into the afternoon games. Saints are getting 3.5 points from the Packers here. This is one that you liked, right?
Yeah, look, I'm lone wolf in this. Okay, I'm on 4.5 for the Saints. I got it when it was 4.5, and everyone is on the Packers. I mean, there is just a line of quote unquote professional people who do this and talk about this stuff for a living, who say the Packers are going to just blow the doors off the Saints today. They don't like Jameis. They think this team is overrated without Michael Thomas. The fact that they're having to relocate to Jacksonville, that it's going to be Packer. I like Jameis. Okay. I like Jameis. I like what Sean Payton can do. I don't buy and I don't care about Sean Payton's record ATS in week 1. Okay. I'm just not buying it. I get it. People are like, oh my goodness gracious, look at his record. He's 3-17 or something along those lines in the last 5 years in September ATS. Teams always start out slow. I get that, but this is a different offseason, a different team because of the Drew Brees factor. And he knows a lot of people are looking at Peyton saying, what are you doing? And what are you going to do to fix this team? So to me, get the ball to Kamara. Let's get with that defense. Let's get after it. I like the Saints defense a lot. I know they're getting older, but I like them a lot. Green Bay can win by 3. I don't care, but give me the 4.5 points. I still would take the 3.5 points. Give me over 3. I like New Orleans.
I think I'm staying away from this game, but I completely get your reasoning right now. What's great is, by the way, this is one of the reasons why it's fun to bet early, like very early, sort of in like not crazy, but in the offseason, because I locked this in before even Brees retired or whatever, whenever the first line's up. So I have the Packers actually getting points in this game because I locked it in like way early, which is the original spread was, I think, the Saints because they were at home.
Yeah, but your book kept
correct.
Your book didn't void it.
Nope.
Whoa.
Nope.
I
love it.
Wherever you got it, congratulations. Because in Vegas, that does not happen. Venue changes.
So they'll void it?
Pull it down. Yeah, venue changes as part of house rules in Vegas. If you bet a game and the venue change, they will refund your wager and you have to rebet it because the number totally flipped. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Patriots are laying 3.5 against the Dolphins. You're on the Dolphins here, huh?
Yeah, over 3 though. I think the Patriots can win this game by a field goal. I think it's a field goal game one way or the other. So I like the 3.5 a lot with the Miami Dolphins. I think Miami is live to win the game outright. But this is one of those situations where if the Patriots win by 2 touchdowns, you know where I'm going to be. So I'm not going to be mad at this being wrong. I'm going to be jumping up and down saying Mac Jones is the guy. And the Patriots, if they win this game today going away, Patriots for the Super Bowl, which I had a buddy of mine who I respect a lot. He put $100 down at 10-1 on the Patriots to win the AFC. I think that's incredibly aggressive, but he's somebody who does make good bets and big bets, and he thinks that there's a lot of people sleeping on that defense for New England, and he thinks that as the year goes on, running the rock and playing defense, and if they could somehow find a way to do that like the Bucks did to the Chiefs, the Patriots could beat the Chiefs in the postseason. Now, that's a long time from now. That's January. We're sitting here in September, but it is interesting to see some people's minds play out the year, and if they win big today, that Patriots 10-1 to win the AFC bet is gone because it'll crash and it'll be like 2-1 after today. So just passing along information. If you like doing flyer bets on futures, there's value 10-1 on the Patriots to win the AFC. But I today is going to be an incredibly big day in the, I don't want to say the career of Belichick, but in the post Brady career of Belichick, this is a big game for the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to bet right now, and they've taken off some of the props that I'm trying to get in there. I don't love it at -3.5 either. I don't know which way I'd go on it. I'd lean towards the Dolphins. I do think the Patriots win this game, but it's not something at 3.5 where I would feel comfortable taking. I've got 2 more props, by the way. I will be giving them out, and I will recap all the props that we did. Chiefs laying 5.5 here at home against the Browns. Matt.
Best number is gone, so I wouldn't touch it from a Browns perspective. You could have gotten 6.5. Now it's 5.5, which is a complete dead number to lay on the Chiefs. This is a total no play for me. This is the game everyone's watching. I will watch this game and enjoy this game if I could. I can't. I'm in a wedding. But if I did, I would watch it. But I think the Chiefs do win and cover this game. This is one of our plays in the Circa Million for the Daily Juice. Yep. And it's Chiefs -6. And I agree. Chiefs -6 is a decent play. DraftKings just sent out real quick. They just sent me their numbers for betting number. So let me just update real quick here on you want to look at that while I give
80.
Go ahead. 82% of the handle is on KC -5 at DraftKings. 77% of the bets are on KC. So it's a real public play. 75% of the handles on the over, and money line is 87% of the bets are on Chiefs money line -250. And that's mostly parlay liability built up. Everyone just putting the Chiefs money line into a money line parlay. So I think there's a good shot the Browns win this game outright. I know people might go, what? I like Cleveland, and the hangover from a Super Bowl is real, and losing the way the Chiefs lost is real.
Yep.
Be very careful with this game in my mind. I did not pick this. This is not one of our plays. This was a consensus play from our group that got together, but I didn't like it, but we're taking it with our Daily Juice million play.
Yeah, the comment, this is really my teaser for the weekend. I realize, Matt, I teased through 0, but the Chiefs are going to win the game. Like that, in my mind. Andy Reid in September, just ridiculous. You know they're pissed. That place is going to be crazy. They want to make a statement here. Everybody is excited about the Browns. I think they are going to show you just exactly what they are here. So I teased them down from 5.5. Now they're getting a point, whatever. Just win the game outright. And then I teased the Rams, who had moved up to 8.5. Down to 2.5 against the Bears, because I think they're going to. That is Dan. Sorry, I should have written that there. That is my big 2-team teaser. That's the one I have the most liability on for this one, but that's a play that I think you make. I think both those games are going to be pretty solid. Let me give a very quick prop here, Matt, and then we will keep going. It is going to be not a rookie, not somebody from the San Francisco 49ers. It instead is going to be, and I don't know what his number is right now, but it is A.J. Brown, over 67.5 receiving yards at -110. Matt, you asked, is he okay? Is he fine? He is never going to practice on Wednesday. You're going to be a little worried about that. You're going to be like, oh no, what's going on? Is he okay? No, dude, you don't need to practice on Wednesday when you're A.J. Brown. You played on 2 disgustingly messed up knees last year. Nobody really even knew about it once he came back. BettingPros prop bet cheat sheet is at 79.1 for his receiving yards. I am at 84. I think they're going to just smash in this game, both sides in this game. Give me the over. Again, there's a lot of overs here right now. I'm going to be much more on the unders, generally speaking, for week 1. Let's root for overs. Let's go what it is. So I'm at A.J. Brown, over 67.5 receiving yards. Matt, is it still there? Is that where the line is, do we think?
I can't see. I was looking, but I'm with you on that. I think that there are. I mean, that's why I'm on 3 overs for points here for bets. I mean, I just think week 1 points, unlike college, because I think people's, bias are like, well, the college game, it's totally different. The NFL is built on points. It's built on betting and DFS. So they know this. The league wants points. They want flags. They want aggressive play calling. They want big numbers from quarterbacks and receivers and running backs and whatnot. It's an offensive game. I think we kind of forgot about that a little bit last year just because all the weird COVID stuff and everything else, empty stadiums. I think we're going to see a ton of points. So I think this is the week, maybe the month, to play overs with everything in terms of DFS and games and whatnot. The books will adjust and the numbers will inflate. But right now, I very much like overs. All
right. So a lot of people say they are seeing 70.5 for A.J. Brown on. That's like the border for me. Okay. I'm okay with it basically under 71 because what the heck? Don't bet a quarter unit, okay, on a prop or something like that. Like, let's not go crazy, but I'm okay with it. 67.5 is really where I find the biggest edge. Broncos laying 3 on the road against the Giants, Matt.
So this is a game I really went crazy on. I studied this game really aggressively because Saquon Barkley playing, Barkley's active, right?
He's playing. Yeah.
Okay. So him playing in this game is a monster to me because I know Bridgewater covers all the time. Okay. People are just assuming that this continues. This is where biases can get you in trouble and trends can get you in trouble. We haven't seen Bridgewater play with this receiving core. I know it's really, really good. And I don't like the Giants, but if they play ball control here and run it with Barkley, and if Barkley looks okay on that knee, I mean, we're all going to go, oh, right, Saquon Barkley. Forgot about that guy. We forgot about how good that guy is.
Sure.
This is a no play for me. But if I had to bet it, the +3, I would even buy it up to 3. If you got to play it, take the home dog.
Okay. How about the over-under, Matt? Because the over-under here, I mean, what everybody sort of is out there saying is, I mean, it's a very low over-under. It
42.
Is 41.5 is now the consensus, Matt.
Oh my
41 God. On DraftKings. That's just too low to even go near. Right? Like I want to still go under because I find that the scoring in this one is going to. But you can get a defensive score. Like it's so easy to sort of beat those low numbers.
I would bet. I mean, if you're going to bet that, I would bet the over 41.5. Right. But I mean, there is the adage. Okay, in week 1, just again to pass along, different betting trends.
Yep.
Week 1, take the over, bet the over. Week 2, the highest total, bet the over. Lowest total, bet the under. And just historically speaking, that's what people have done just because it tends to go that way with the books.
Okay. Two more games, I believe, unless we miss one. Rams. The consensus line is -8 at home against the Bears on Sunday Night Football. For me at DraftKings, as you just saw, it's at 8.5, so a little higher with there. What do you think of that?
Boy, I just don't know what the Bears team. If I had to bet it, I think the Rams are the right side, but I'm just not a Stafford guy. Everyone's like, oh, here he comes. McVay's got a dude. Look out. All right. I mean, maybe.
Just look at what he was doing with Jared Goff, though, man. Jared Goff. Come on. Jared Goff. He's better at football.
Are we sold on McVay? Are we sold? This guy knows what. Are we sold? This guy's as good as we all think he is. I don't know. I mean, I want to see it.
We've seen him do it, man. We've seen him take Jared Goff to the playoffs a million times. Like, I'm sold enough on Sean McVay. You've got Stafford. You've got the two elite wide receivers. I like Higbee. The running back situation obviously is, a little up in the air without Akers. The defense, though, is dynamic. Right. I don't like it at 8 or 8.5. Like, I'm not going near that. But I did tease it down, and I'm happy that they're going to win this game. Like, they're going to win this game. They're not going to lose.
Yeah, 2 is a good
Dalton.
number. Yeah, crossing 3 is a big, but it's also going to be a super aggressive public play.
Yes,
that is.
I agree.
Rams. I can't tell you how many Rams 49er teasers I've seen. Okay.
Yep.
That is an extremely popular tease.
I get it, and it's disconcerting when that happens, and you're in it at all. But week one, especially week one, I think you got to know. And I feel like Matt, books are probably they probably hate the 2-team teasers at this point, right? Like, they have to figure out a way to guard against it.
Well, here's what they've done, okay? So books historically would give you even money on teasers, or they'd give you -105. Books are now pricing it across the board at -120.
-120, right?
So they're making it more expensive for anybody to play it who wants to play it. So that's their way, because historically, if you got to do the math out, you play 10 of those, you really got to hit 8 of them to make some money. So that's part of the problem that the books are going to run into, or trying to make you run into, is that you're just going to get juiced out if you keep play these. But that's why we need to go like 7-3, 8-2. You got to have a good record when you're playing these teasers. But if you do, you can be profitable when you're betting it. But just know that when you're losing, we're getting back $80 for every 100 we bet. So we lose 100, we gain 80. Lose 100, gain 80. So that's how the books get us, and that's how they punish us for betting teasers.
Yeah, there's usually a game that screws up all the teasers. You know that. And if there is one, it's probably going to be this one. But, we'll have to see. Last one, Matt, you've obviously talked about this week. Raiders are now getting 4. There's still a couple of 4.5s out there, but getting 4 from the Ravens at home.
Look, I don't know what we're going to see except for points. I'm higher on the Raiders than most people. I'm on over 6.5 wins for the Raiders. And now it's 7.5. I think the Raiders are going to win 8-9 football games. And this is one of the games I circled before all the injuries. It's going to be an insane atmosphere. Allegiant Stadium has never had a crowd there for the Raiders. It's going to be one of the more aggressive home crowds in all of the NFL. We saw it for now years with the Golden Knights. Vegas puts on concert-style football and hockey games, and it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere with Monday Night Football being there and the Ravens' injuries. I know it's Lamar Jackson. He'll probably run wild. Don't love him throwing the football still, but I think points are going to be had. If I had to bet it, I'd take the home dog in primetime, but I don't want to be involved on a side. I just think we see points on both sides.
I agree. Last prop coming right here, because that was the last game, and this is the one I'm weakest on. If it is higher than 38.5 rushing yards for Javonte Williams, I'm off. Okay. I bet it when it was 35.5, just to be clear. It was a little juiced up. 38.5 is the highest I could see. Again, 2 things. Number 1, rookies. I don't think they know what to do with rookies right now. I don't think they understand exactly what to do with it. But number 2, I think you're going to see a lot of running in this game. I think they are going to win. I know you said the home dog. I think the Broncos win this game handily. I think the Giants are going to be abysmal. I think they're going to have defensive scores. There's going to be a lot of rushing for both Williams and Gordon. So I really do feel like if you can get it at 38.5 or less, I would take it. If it's above that, though, I'm out. This is the weakest prop I have, but I have bet it. So again, 38.5. I don't know, Matt, if you're looking it up to see what you have in your book, but it was moving last night.
Okay. No, I'm trying to give out the last Wong teaser.
Give out the last one. You want it? Yeah, you could say it, Matt, and I can write it in if you want.
Yeah, I wanted to be sure that it still qualifies. Technically, this Bengals. Okay, so just real fast on Wong teasers. Okay, just as you guys who have listened to the Juice before, you understand this. So Wong teasers, it's a formula by a doctor who created this basically right before kickoff. So it's a 6.2 team teaser. You're going to look for home 49 or less. Okay. That's the key number, not 49.5, 49 and less from a total perspective. Okay. That's how you start to identify games. Then you're teasing home favorites, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, you're teasing it down. Okay. 3 or below. Then you're going home underdogs, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5 up. So you're crossing 7. Okay.
Yep.
Key number 7. Teasing road underdogs of 1, 1.5, 2, or 2.5 up. Again, you're going to cross 7. Okay. So early games, Chargers plus 8.5, Bengals plus 9. All right. That Bengals leg is going to make people uncomfortable. I understand that. It makes me a little uncomfortable. Okay. I understand that. But you're crossing 7. Bengals have a chance to backdoor it. You'll see it potentially. I'm going to jump in here because, again, it's up until kickoff, like 30 minutes to an hour before kickoff. That's when you want to bet it. Chargers plus 8.5, Bengals plus 9, 1 unit Wong teaser. Go ahead and put that in if you want to trail that.
All right. People are asking for it in the comments. Chargers plus 8.5, Bengals plus 9, right?
Yep. And again, the 3 technically doesn't equality. It should be 2.5, but it's a low total. And I think with low totals, I do like the Bengals to keep the game within a touchdown.
All right, hold on. It's coming up. I'm going to put it up there, everyone. Everyone relax. Everyone stand down. There you go. Is this right, Matt? Chargers plus 8.5, Bengals plus 9? Yeah, very good. So that's our Wong teaser. All right. So we did a bunch. I'm going to very quickly right now run through the props again because I know everybody was yelling at me and saying, I want the props. I want the props. I want the props. Here you go. Jaylen Waddle over 34.5 receiving yards. That number's probably gone. I'm okay really to bet it up to 38.5. Got to
Juice guys, by the way, I bet this at 36.5 officially.
So. 36.5. Beautiful. Najee Harris over 59.5 rushing yards at minus 115. Matt, also official?
For 60.5. I got it.
60.5.
For a yard worse than you. I got it at 60.5.
Okay. Matt hates both of these, but I'm taking both San Francisco wide receivers. Brandon Alyuk over 49.5 receiving yards, minus 115. Deebo Samuel over 46.5 receiving yards, minus 115. A.J. Brown is over 67.5 receiving yards at minus 110. Sounds like it's at 70.5. I can allow it at that point. If you hit 71, I'm just out. Little things like that matter. And Javonte Williams over 38.5 rushing yards at minus 115. Those are my official prop plays. That is what this is, Matt. Yes, go ahead.
So I added Singletary officially over 32.5 rushing yards.
Ooh.
Okay.
Love it.
And I added over 63.5 for Mostert rushing at minus 115. Over 63.5 for Mostert.
Look how you have to. Yeah, they are not giving me a rushing prop on Singletary here on DraftKings. It's fine. I get it. But protect yourself. Anyway,
those are there. Those, and by the way, someone sent me a text message who's watching and said we averaged around 195.
Correct. That's what I thought, Matt. And so when you were like 500, I was like, oh well, then I guess
I don't know. I'm all over the place. But yes, 190. The average was 195 last year.
This one was over 4 for a lot of it. I love it. I love you guys. Good luck today. Look at that. Next week we'll triple. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, everybody, Matt. Enjoy. Your wedding attire looks fantastic. I would keep it as is, exactly there, looking good. Very good for that. You guys, I'm on Twitter at Dan Harris 80. Matt's at Sports Talk Matt. So you can tweet us if you're in Discord, of course. Whatever. Let's go. Yeah. Let's watch football all day.
Real quick. I will post in the Discord channel. I will, because you missed any of these official plays. I will post a full card here when we're done. I'll go in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get into there if you guys want me in there. But in the Daily Juice, I'll add everybody and I'll post it so you guys will have it so you can see it officially if you missed anything.
As the person who keeps track of your bets for the sheet, I appreciate you posting it so I don't lose it. All right, everybody, enjoy your football. Have a great last hour before it really gets going, and we will